Welcome along to the show for our ANZ Championship review that saw the Southern Steel tip over the Magic last night, casting a shadow over the Waikato franchise's push for a semi-final after squandering a 10-point lead. More on that game in a moment. Elsewhere, the Firebirds ended the Thunderbirds' faint playoff hopes while enhancing their own. No Donna Wilkins for the Pulse, but they saw off a feisty tactics outfit nevertheless. And the Swifts ended the round with a win over the hapless Fever.
I just was waiting for them to spark tonight, and I think that's the intercept from Storm at the sort of about early in the second quarter really sparked everyone into life, and we scored a couple in a row and we just pegged it back. And you don't have, I think the thing when you go down by 10 goals, you don't actually have to do it all back in one hit. You've just got to keep pegging away at it.
Yeah, it was a great effort from the girls. Everyone was really composed out there, and I think that made the difference in that last quarter. We just knew we had to score off our own, and anything else was a bonus. So to come out with a win and against a quality side like that, it's certainly exciting for the franchise. I think it was a fantastic team effort. All seven looked hungry and just really wanted to win out there. And obviously the seven on the court done their job, but the reserves were really supportive and giving us some good feedbacks at the break along with the management. So it's not just the seven on the court, it's a complete performance from everyone.
Young defence, outstanding I thought today, Jenny.
Yeah, they were. They were quiet in the first quarter, but they came right, and I think that's a wee challenge for them. But that hunting and the confusing of space and the connection that they've built up is fantastic, and it can only get better. We talk about we make our own luck, and I think in the first quarter we didn't, and we sort of sat back and we're like, oh, what's happened to us, a bit stun mullet stuff. But second, third and fourth, I think we really went for it, and that's what you've got to do at this level.
Just unfortunately probably not one win short out of being out of that top four at the moment. So although we played really well tonight, it's still disappointing. We've set ourselves up for not making that top four, so certainly a learning curve, but we've got to celebrate the win at the same time. We've talked about the last few weeks just finishing the season well, and would love to win the 3 out of 3 that we've 4 out of 4 actually since the Mystics game. So for us, we just want to make sure we play well and finish the season strong, and unfortunately if we upset some teams, it's just the way it goes. That momentum, it's a bit of a killer having the bye, but a few of us old girls might need a bit of a break. When it's a tight game like that and you get something and they come up, it just makes you rise even more. And it was certainly an unbelievable experience. It was really awesome having them behind us and being so vocal and loud. They're a great side, and we had a lot of respect for them. And you've got to do your homework and have a good game plan. I think we've done that really well the last few weeks, and with everyone contributing and knowing their strengths and weaknesses. So for us to come out and fire against a team like that, it's a really good achievement, and you just want to keep pushing forward for the last 2 games.
They get some time off now, Janine, with a bye and a good win.
Yo-yo. They've earned a yo-yo test this week, isn't that mean? We'll enjoy a little bit of downtime, but I think the big thing for us is actually we want to finish the season as well as we can, and that's a challenge. We've got 2 tough games. Tactics are always tough. They're close in. They've been unlucky, and they're still really hungry. And the Vixens in our last home game in a couple of weeks, and we've proven we can meet those Aussie teams, and I think for us we really need to go out there and finish it in style.
It could change the top 4.
Yeah, that's what we've still got a little chance, I think, about this much. Yeah.
I just think we had passages of play where we were very good, but we can't sustain it, and what we have to look at is being able to play that way for a full game, and unfortunately that's something that's slipped out of our game in recent weeks, and until we find that intensity to be able to keep maintaining that, then we're going to be in trouble.
Casey, did you feel you switched off? Actually, could you feel it in the team when they started to come back?
I don't think on purpose, but I think we came out and had a really good lead, and like Julie said, it's just keeping. We actually talked about having that lead, making sure that we, kept the pedal on and didn't stop. But I just think it was just dumb stuff that we did do, and we've talked about it all this week. It can be 5 minutes in one quarter where you can lose the game, and that's what happened to us.
What about the impetus? Did you feel you could ever get it back? Because often when a team chases down from so far behind, they have a bit of a lull, but they didn't let you back in.
No, they didn't, and obviously we're never going to give up fighting. That's something that Magic is all about, and you wear your heart on your sleeve and you go, to the death. But certainly against a team like the Steel, with Janelle in the back, it's very hard to get ball back. So when we are given the ball, or we do get a turnover, we have to really treasure it and score it, and I don't think we did that enough. We've talked about it, how we can say, we've only had 2 losses or we're still on the top 4, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter. We still need to be winning and still doing our job at the same time, because whatever else is happening on the table could potentially knock us out, and we need to be aware of that.
People are talking about You're playing for a home semi, but you're actually still playing for a semi, aren't you?
We're just playing to be in the top 4. That's all we want. Obviously number 1 would be great, but 1 to 4 we don't care. We just want to be in that top 4.
And we want to be playing good netball when we get into the top 4. Yeah. We don't want to be scraping and doing things like we were tonight as we get into that top 4. We want to be on the rise when we come into it. I think that we can take away from the fact that we had passages of play that were excellent. I thought Casey and Liana did everything we could ask of them down in that end of the court, and we've got to make sure we capitalise on that. And there will be passages of play that we can show and say this is how we want to play, but unfortunately there's other ones that will show that that's not what we want to do.
There's a huge contrast. In that first quarter, you played superbly well and could have been ahead more than 10.
Yeah, it was certainly the cliche of game of, 2 halves, which certainly felt nice in the first, but then not in the second. But unfortunately, that's the way that the game went. But the group of girls that we have won't be happy with that, and we will work hard this week again and put. We wanted to put out a performance that we are proud of, and like Julie said, there was patches of that we were proud of, and we weren't consistent enough.
I think it rules out any chance of complacency against the Tactics next week.
Yes, yeah, it does. We certainly never have that in our team, but it certainly won't be happening this week.
Are you angry? Does it make you angry that you've lost it from that position? I mean, losing is always hard, but do you think, oh, gee, how did we do that? Is it that sort of feeling?
It does. Well, for me, it does. It really annoys me.
I didn't have to ask.
I could use words that you don't want to hear, but no, well, I'm angry.
I think you're always angry when you lose games, when you're losing it on the mistakes that you make. Yeah. And there were times tonight when we gave the ball back far too easily, and that is something that makes you angry.
Did you feel in that, just going into that last quarter, Julie, you could say something that could make a difference there to get them refocused? I
think even in that last quarter we came back. We narrowed the gap in the last quarter, and then all of a sudden it was back out to 5 or 6 again very quickly. And I think that's what annoys us. We show that we have the ability to come back, and then all of a sudden we'll do something silly, miss a goal or whatever else, and the score's blown out again.
Traditionally over the ANZ Championship, I mean, we've played down here 7 times, lost 5. Not a heavy hunting ground for the Magic.
Oh, I didn't know that, but thank you for telling me that afterwards, not before. It certainly is a challenge to come down and play down here, but it's a great stadium, and something that Julie has taught us this year is doesn't matter where you are, it's your attitude about it. So I think we showed that attitude in the first quarter. It's just maintaining it for the next 3.
And it's a great experience to come down and play in such a great stadium in such a passionate crowd. And that's something we have to use to our advantage.
You took them out of it, didn't you, the crowd in the first quarter?
Yeah, but then they came back.
To be fair, you brought them into it. This is the loudest I've heard them all season, so that's nice to know.
Oh, I'm glad we helped. That's a positive.
Nice to know we got something.
It's all locked up at the top of the table with 4 teams on 14 points and only separated by the goal differential calculation. The good news for the threatening Pulse is that the Firebirds have played an extra game and they play each other in what is likely to be the decider for the last qualifying spot. Mathematically, the Steel kept themselves alive, but other results in their bye round next week are likely to extinguish all hope.